to the exercise. Let's discuss few numbers. Rational and irrational numbers. Do you remember the difference?
Uh,
Could be written as fraction. Mixed number, integer, decimal, but that has to be exact. For example, 0.7 is an exact number and not the number when we punch something in calculator and we get a very long number after the decimal, and which is also not complete in the screen. So these are rational numbers. Irrational is reverse of that. It could not be written as fraction.
yes. Okay.
Now we need to understand, when we say 10, this is also a fraction, that is integer. I can say this is 10 over 1 as well. When we say 3.5, it could be written as 7 by 2. So irrational numbers are pi and all non-perfect squares. For example, square root 2, square root 3. I'm skipping 4, square root 5, square root 6, square root 7. Because square root 4 is exactly 2. Square root 9 is 3. So square root 8, we skip 9 and we write square root 10. So it is pi, and all non-perfect squares are irrational. All of these are rational. Why? Because they could be written as exact numbers or fractions. This is fraction, this is mixed number and fraction. This is 5.14, which is exact number. It could be written as 514 by 100 and then simplified. And 0.6 dot, we just did that. We can convert radical numbers into recurring numbers into decimals and fractions. So irrational numbers, I just said non-perfect squares, and these are non-perfect squares and cubes. Square root of non-perfect squares and cube root of non-perfect cubes. Any confusion in this?
No,
No,
sir.
no, sir.
Minus 7 is a negative rational number. It is negative and it is exact. So it can be written as fraction as well. So we will not have any negative irrational number because we are talking about square roots and we are talking about cube roots, where we can have cube root of negative number, but not for square root. 1.3b. Which of the following numbers are rational? So 1a, rational or irrational?
1A is irrational. Irrational, yes.
It is a rational number
Oh,
because it is in front of us and it is in exact form. Like it is
okay.
not rounded or anything. 2.15 could be written as 215 divided by 100. B is rational because we can convert it into a fraction. What
Yes,
So
about
sir.
it, irrational,
C is irrational? D,
rational,
E,
rational,
F,
irrational,
Irrational.
G,
irrational. One, two.
Irrational.
H,
Irrational also.
Irrational.
Ali, your answer?
Irrational.
Okay, one is saying irrational. Both are saying irrational,
Yes.
and I'll say rational. Now let's fight.
Mm,
It,
uh,
Square root 17 is irrational, but square root 17 squared. Answer is 1 7.
mm,
yes, sir.
It is rational.
okay.
Part
This is irrational.
irrational. Okay,
Irrational.
Irrational.
Rational.
rational, good. A,
Irrational.
this is
Uh,
rational.
Irrational.
Now, how do we handle square roots? Whenever we get such kind of number, for example, we have square root x multiplied by square root y, we can write it as xy combined. And so is the division. X divided by square root y. This is square root x over y. So we had square root 12 over square root 3. So I can write it as 12 over 3, which is square root 4, and that is 2. So perfectly rational number. L part, case pi square,
Irrational.
irrational. M,
Rational.
Rational.
rational. Ali is taking a little longer.
Yes.
Ali, all okay?
Yes, sir.
N is
Rational.
And rational.
rational. Okay.
And
Would have seen pi and 3.142 and 22 by 7 many times that we use
yes.
the in circles. So note that today that all these threes are not exactly same. They are very close to each other, but they are not exactly same. Pi
Yes,
is
sir.
irrational. 3.142 is in front of us. That is rational. 22 by 7 is a perfect fraction. That is rational. So
Yes,
never
sir.
confuse 3.14 with pi. O part,
O part.
Uh,
Rational.
it's
eh, P,
Irrational also.
Yes,
rest.
yes.
Oh.
Oh, oh, wow. This
Yes.
was square root 2.25. Can I write it as 225 over 100? Now, square root of 225 over square root of 100. So, 225 is actually 15 and this is 10. So, it could be written as 1.5, an exact number. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Write down any rational number between 4 and 6. Rational number between 4 and 6. What would it be?
5.
4 and 6.
Between 4 and 6. Any number. Ali said 5. That's right. Haris, tell me another number other than 5.
Uh, doesn't five.
Yeah.
Five.
Number between
Three.
4 and between 4 and 6.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Between 4.
Rational. Rational. Five and
Between 4 and 6. There are infinite numbers.
therefore.
Okay, I'll write one. 4.1.
So
Oh,
can we add 4.5?
Anything. It
oh,
has to be.
Yes, sir. Sir.
yes. Okay.
Now the
So,
fun
sir,
part.
there are so many.
There are so many, yes.
Mention.
Rational between 4 and 6.
Rational between 4 and 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So pi five. I mean 5 pi.
5 pi. Haris, what is the value of pi?
Or 22 or 7. I mean, yes.
2 over 7, roughly 3.14 something.
Yes, it
So
will
when
be
Yes,
we
50.
sir.
multiply 3 with 5, this will be 15. It is not between 6 and 4.
So just wait, let me just. mm, 1.75.
1.7
7 pi.
pi?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have to check it. 1.7 into pi.
Can we write 1
See.
plus pi?
Ali, which number?
1 plus pi.
1 plus pi. Yes, 3. That is 4 point something. Very good. Now let me show you a trick. If I write 4 here and I write 6 here, and then I write 4 square square root, I mean 16 square root. Is it equal?
Uh,
Yes.
yes, sir.
And if I write square root of 36, is it equal?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
When we actually write square root 16, that is 4, and square root 36, that is 6. So there are many numbers in between them. Suppose after 16 there is 17 square root. Obviously, if 16 square root is 4, 17 square root will be more than 4.
Yes, sir.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22,
Yes, sir. Yes,
23.
sir.
Be careful when we are writing this, we have to skip 25 because that is 5. So 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. We have so many irrational numbers between these two without any doubt. So this takes a bit of time to think. This is good. I like that. Actually, I've encountered
Yes,
this
sir.
first time. Never thought of that example. And this is how we actually do it. So for next time, if the examiner asks you, this was 4 and 6 only. Next time he will say between 7 and 8. He will leave no space between them. So we write 49 square root and 64 square root. And then we have a wide range of numbers we can think between.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, find a rational number between square root 2 and square root 3. Now, square root 2 is 1.41 something. Square root 3 is 1.7. So 1.4, 1.7, any number between them. For example, 1.5. Write down any rational number between pi and 10 same way. 3.14 and square root 10.
Yes,
Any
sir.
number between them. It could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on. We have many whole numbers between them. No, square root 10. Square root 10. I thought of 10. Square root 10 is 3.16 and pi is 3.14. So 3.14 and this is 3.16 something. So I will write 3.5 maybe, because 3.15 could be written as 315 over 100. Question number 3a. For each of the shapes, state whether the parameter is rational or irrational. So when we add these, all four, this is 4 square root 5. Is it rational or irrational?
Uh, so it is irrational.
Good. It is irrational because square root 5 is non-perfect square.
Yes, sir.
Square root 13, 3, 2. When we add all these again, we get 5 plus square root 13. And overall, this number is rational or irrational?
Um, irrational.
Rational.
Yes.
Because square root 13 is irrational, that is a non-perfect square number. Okay, sequence is a different topic. So any problem till now? Aris Ali, any issues?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So I'll share some homework.
Okay.
It might take me some time. I'll pick up few questions and make a PDF file and share it with you for you to practice over the weekend. And yes, and if you face any problem, you're more than welcome. You can ask it in the WhatsApp group.